joining us live now from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The man will join us every Sunday this season, and he'll come over and join us in the studio as well in just a few weeks. Gary Neville. Gary, let me start by asking you about the Arsenal team today. As expected, without Rice and Odegaard, has Arteta done what you thought he would?
The only question was whether Raheem Sterling would come in, but we felt that he probably would go with Trossard and Jorginho, very experienced. Trossard's been tussling with Martinelli on that left-hand side to play anyway, so not too much surprise, but obviously a big loss. The energy and power of Declan Rice, and then Odegaard, I think when you see him play over the last couple of years, he makes Arsenal tick. So they're, I think, big advantages for Spurs, and they should look upon this game a little bit more, I think, confidently with having those two players missing.
They have Dominic Solanke up front as well to start today. I asked the chaps this a little bit earlier on. Of course, nobody can replace Harry Kane. Gary, what do you feel about Solanke?
I had this debate with Jamie Carragher a couple of weeks ago. He felt it was a little bit too much money that they've paid for him, but I could see quite why Tottenham went for him. If you think about how Ange Postecoglou plays, that energy off the ball, his high pressing, non-stop type of football, he needs to take the chances. He's missed a couple in his early games. He's obviously then had a little knock, so it's a big game for him today, and there's no better way for him to get on board with the Tottenham fans by doing well in this game. It's a huge game. I think on that promo you just had, it's my favourite game of football since I finished my football career, and I never thought I would say that.
And why is that, Gary? Just because of the way it always turns out and it never disappoints?
Do you know something? I think I may be disrespectfully maybe coming from the north of England and being really sort of brought up around the Merseyside derby and brought up around the Manchester derby and thinking they're the biggest fixtures that we have in the country, but also the Manchester United-Liverpool game. Not paid too much attention to the Arsenal-Tottenham game, but over the last 10 years it's always delivered. The atmosphere is incredible. The teams seem to go for hell for leather at each other, and yeah, just been my favourite game to commentate on. Never disappoints, always delivers. That's
really interesting, because Ange Postecoglou, the Tottenham manager, was saying, wasn't he, in the build-up to this game, well, you're a small club if you only want to win one game more than the others. But, of course, the Tottenham fans want to win this game more than any other. So what do you make of Postecoglou and how those comments might have gone down with the Spurs fans?
I think he had that challenge last season, didn't he, when they were playing City, if you remember, and that sort of dilemma that he has of how passionately Tottenham fans feel about Arsenal and this game, and Arsenal winning the league potentially if Tottenham beat City. I think he's not playing the game, the sort of political game, or sometimes the game that a manager will play, which is playing to the fans, sort of what would be, I suppose, sentiment. He's actually thinking about the bigger picture of Tottenham not being a winning football club, having a winning mentality, and he's got to try and change that, and the way to change that is think bigger picture, and it's not about just beating your rivals, it's about winning trophies and winning leagues and doing things over a season. I think Tottenham fans still feel this is obviously the biggest moment of the season in a game, and he's trying to change the club mentality rather than, I think, sort of play to their, I suppose, emotions that they have before this match.
Yeah, Lee Dixon said to us a little bit earlier on that without Rice and Odegaard, you know, last season Manchester City didn't have Haaland for a stretch or Kevin De Bruyne for a stretch. They still won the title. Lee said, you don't deserve to be in the race for the title if you can't deal when you lose two of your best players. Thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not into excuses. If you're going to win a title, you're going to have to play without one or two players here and there. And the idea that, like you say, all clubs have these sort of ups and downs during the season. Haaland and De Bruyne are missing for Manchester City, and then they still win the title. No, Arteta's got to try and win a title by having some of these dips along the way, and losing two important players is part and parcel of it. I'm not going to listen to any excuses after this match from Arsenal or their fans or from their manager about the fact that they have missing players. They've spent a fortune on players to be able to cope with this type of situation.
Final question very quickly. Give us your prediction. What's going to happen?
1-1, but if anything, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Spurs victory, because a guy up here I know just said 2-1 to me.
Oh, all right, OK, we're going to go with that one. 2-1 to Spurs. Gary, thank you so much for joining us. We'll speak next week.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.